What's up, everybody? Back for another episode of the PG Sports Podcast. Whoa, our special guest today is AJ Andrews, professional softball player. Hey, how's it going? Am I looking blurry or not?
No, it looks clear to me.
All right, good. How's it going?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Pretty good. How's how's everything been going during the virus?
For me, it's been fine, to be honest. I mean, this has given me a lot of time to really pursue some of the passions and some of the things that I've been wanting to do that I didn't really have time to do before. So for me, it's been well. My family's healthy, so I'm blessed for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Where are you?
I'm in Florida.
Gotcha. So what are some things you've been doing since you just said you've been doing some new things or things you didn't have time, you said you didn't have to do?
Yeah, so starting a podcast. I'm also doing a bunch of different, I'm very interested in creating shows and different concepts when I am not playing softball. So really upping the content that I put out, working on creating a skincare line currently, and just a bunch of other things, getting my website done. So it's every day is something new. And, people think that I don't have things to do, but on top of training for hopefully a season that happens in the summer, I'm also putting in play a lot of cool things that hopefully take off in a few months.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've been seeing you've been going live too with the Players Tribune. So who have you interviewed so far?
Yeah, so Players Tribune, I'm doing a show and it's called At Home with AJ. And so I'm interviewing some of the most amazing women in sports that you will ever find, and really just seeing what it is that they do, their passions outside of sport, and what they're doing right now to stay occupied or just stay focused while they have more downtime than typical. And so my mom in the back. And so who have I talked to? I talked to Caitlin Ohashi, the gymnast. Then I talked with Angel McCautry, WNBA player. And then, At Home with AJ, someone put it on there. And then the last person I just spoke with yesterday is Megan Anderson, MMA fighter. Absolutely amazing. So it's been really cool to have those conversations every Monday.
Yeah, definitely. You had me going crazy because I thought, because the internet has been weird. I don't know, on my end in places. And then you were like, did you get my message? And I was just like, no, about scheduling the interview. So then I was just like, and then I emailed you, and then I was like, all right, did you get the email either? I was just like, this is crazy.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Instagram was freaking out. Instagram changed some things recently, so it was just kind of going through a weird deal, I guess.
Yeah, I'm waiting for them to upgrade the live because I kind of want to get 3 people in here, or 2 other people in here. So I think that'd be cool.
I'm sure that's what they're probably starting to work on, due to the fact that this is what so many people have to do right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and you just signed with the new California team, right?
Yeah, I signed with the California Commotion earlier this year, yeah.
Mm-hmm. What team did you play for last year?
Last year, I wasn't really with the team last year. I played in Italy overseas.
Oh, okay. What was that like playing in Italy?
It was amazing, to be honest. I really loved being there, being immersed in the Italian culture. It was very authentic. I wasn't just going, for vacation. So I even picked up a little bit of Italian, but it's gone now, so don't ask me to say anything. But it was a lot of fun and a really cool experience to get to. I think my biggest takeaway was that you don't have to speak the same language to speak the same language. So it was amazing.
Yeah, for sure. What is it? How many teams? What is there? 4 teams or 5 teams now in the pro softball league?
So in NPF there's 4 teams, but what's actually starting now is called Athletes Unlimited, which is going to start in August, which is a really amazing. It's basically a completely new professional softball league, and it's also going to have other leagues. So the volleyball that you see in college that doesn't have a professional league in America, a lot of those girls after college have to go overseas to continue playing. They're trying to start a pro league here. So it's called Athletes Unlimited for those that are listening and want to tune in and check that out. they're really just trying to become the powerhouse for women's sports. So that's going to start right after the NPF season in August.
It's dope. What about, like, have you heard anything on, like, do you know anything if there's, like, going to be a season, or you don't know yet?
As of right now, there's going to be one. I'm pretty sure everyone's just taking it, week by week, month by month, like everybody else. So as of right now, it's set to start because it would start in June. So we have the month of May to kind of give us that idea, and I'm pretty sure we'll know mid-May what the deal will be for at least the NPF season.
Gotcha. How'd you start getting, how'd you start playing softball?
Softball's actually the last sport that I picked up. I played a lot of sports when I was younger. So I played soccer, I played basketball, I ran track, I was a cheerleader. I did just about everything. And my mom played co-ed softball, and I used to love going to those games just because everyone's kids were there. So it was just really fun to go. And then I went to, Mom asked me if I wanted to try out for a softball team. And I was literally the kid that tried every single sport. I tried swimming, I tried tennis. I did not try golf. Golf and volleyball are really the two only sports I never really attempted. But, went out for the local Little League team here where I live, and so in Florida, and the rest is history. Softball was definitely one of the first sports that I had fun with first before getting extremely competitive. I'm a very competitive person, and to give you a clue, I ran track not because I wanted to, but because I knew I would win. And so, I'm just extremely competitive, always wanting to win, but softball was really one of the sports that I actually truly found a passion for before my competitive spirit kicked in. So it's the one that went the long haul and what I'm still playing today.
Gotcha. Did you play baseball? Because I'm in Connecticut, and I know they didn't even have like softball actually at first in the Little League.
No, I didn't play baseball. I mean, I played T-ball. If that's what that's the closest to baseball when I was younger. But I mean, when I was younger, we had neighborhood kids all around. We always played games. So I played baseball. I wasn't on a baseball team or anything like that, but I've played with a baseball before. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, I know. Well, you guys get to play all year round, so too.
Oh, in Florida, yeah. There's no stop.
Yeah.
No stop here.
What was it like going to LSU?
Yeah, I mean, LSU was absolutely amazing. I mean, if you ask anybody that's gone there for a football game, I don't think you really have to attend the university to know how much fun, how amazing the atmosphere is down in Baton Rouge. So for me, it was truly perfect. I mean, I got there, went on my visit, and my visit was when Alabama was playing LSU at LSU. So it was something that is just, you can't compare to that, right? It's hard to beat that atmosphere. And it wasn't too far away from home. It's a 10-hour drive, an hour flight. So it really was perfect, an opportunity for my family to be able to see me play often. And someone asked me what made me choose LSU over my other offers. What I really felt like was different with LSU was just the fact that when I went there, I felt like home. Everyone truly makes you feel like you're their child. And if you go to Louisiana, you'll have a lot of people that call you Bae, they call you Boo. And, and if you're not from Louisiana, to you, it's like, I'm not your bae, I'm not your boo. You know what I mean? But it's like, it's truly how they talk, because they're welcoming you, they're loving you, they're letting you know that you are part of their family. And I don't think that you can get that everywhere you go. And just Louisiana, it's not very different from Florida. The weather is very similar. It just really can't. I mean, Louisiana is very different from the rest of the world, from the rest of the country, don't get me wrong. But in regards to just the way it just felt like home. And I love football. My high school is a football school here in Florida. And so I was really excited to continue my excitement for that game onto college and to have an amazing experience, not just playing softball, but also college as a whole.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I just looked up. You played with Rachel Fico?
Yeah, played with Fico for 2 years.
Yeah, she's from Connecticut.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love her.
How far did you guys go during your time there, like during the playoffs?
So my freshman year, we went to the World Series and we got fifth place. And then my senior year, we went to the World Series again and we got third. So we lost to Michigan to go to the championship series, which was against Florida.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also saw that that you won like the first women's Gold Glove ever. So
Yep.
how'd that come about, and like why'd they give it out like that particular like year, or like why'd they start it? Like why didn't they start it before that year? Was it 2016? I think.
Yeah, 2016. I don't know why they didn't start before that year. I definitely feel like it should have been something that had been going on for a while before 2016. But personally, I'm very honored to have been the first woman to win the Rawlings Gold Glove and be that first person to make history and break that barrier for women in sports and to allow football to that. Giving it that year. And in my opinion, I didn't know if the Gold Glove that you get in MLB or if it was going to be just some hybrid woman's Gold Glove. And so for me, you're stalling a little bit. Can you see me? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of. I don't know if it's me.
Yeah. You're back now. I think. I don't know. It's breaking up.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, I think you're kind of frozen.
Okay. I mean, I can see you. Can you see me?
All right, there you go. There you go. Yeah, now you're
okay.
Now you're good.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know why it is they chose to do in 2016, but I'm very happy for it. And for me, being able to hear my name called when they were announcing the person that was going to win the Gold Glove, it was definitely kind of an out-of-body experience because I realized that this is truly a moment to make history, not just for softball, but for women in sports in general. You know, I feel like once one woman is able to break through one barrier in sports, it continuously gives others the permission to do the same. And so, you know, whether you are an advocate for women in sports or not, to see sports as a whole continue to grow is really important. So I'm really excited that Rawlings decided to give that award out. And I'm excited for not just myself, but all those that are going to win after me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, when I first looked it up, I thought it meant like you won the only one ever to ever like exist. Like I didn't think there was ones after that at first. That's why I was confused at first, but I figured it out.
Just the first woman to win it. But, you know, it's very different because in baseball, every position gets one,
Yeah.
the Gold Glove. But in softball, only one, which, you know, it's hard to determine your outfielder going up against a catcher. But it's truly, for me, for softball, it's the best defender, period.
Yeah, for sure. Pharaoh asked, do you keep in touch with many players that you meet on other teams?
Yeah, so, I mean, a lot of the girls play professional softball. So, I mean, it's a very small community. Not a lot of people. Uh-oh. Are you still around?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Not a lot of people get to play professional softball. So, it's definitely a very tight community. We all know each other, all still keep in touch and also talk. So, it's you definitely know who your opponents are and you know what their capabilities were from college. So, definitely do still have a lot of contact with some of my opponents when I was at LSU, now in professional softball.
Yeah, what did you study at LSU?
So I got my undergrad in sports administration, so basically the business of sports, and then my master's degree is in mass communication, broadcast journalism.
Okay, so you always wanted to be like a journalist or like a host or on-air person?
Actually, I really wanted to be a sports agent to begin with, so that's why I went there to learn the business of sports, and then I was going to go to law school and become a sports agent. But my senior year, actually Jessica Mendoza, she mentioned to me, I always love being on camera, don't get me wrong, I flourish on camera, but I never thought of it as a career at first. And then Jessica Mendoza was the first person to mention to me that she thinks that this is something that I could really do well in. And so I went back and got my master's degree, and now when I'm not playing softball, I'm pursuing on-air opportunities.
Gotcha. What type of sport did you want to do for agency, to be an agent?
All sports. Yeah, want to do all sports. Want to be that one that's just taking over and giving a name to those that maybe are not valued as much as they should be. Definitely wanted to be someone to make a difference if I was a sports agent. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got the LSU connect, so there's a lot of athletes there for sure.
Yeah, a lot of athletes, a lot of opportunities, but now I'm just going to be the person talking to their sports agent, get them on my show.
Yeah. So what? Yeah. So you said you're launching a podcast, right?
Yep.
And then, so what else do you want to do?
So I'm launching a podcast, creating shows, so that you have to see the show that I'm doing with Players Tribune, who's at home with AJ, working to do more shows. Tonight, my show Undefeated that I did with ESPN is airing again at 8:30 Eastern Time, and it'll air again at 11. So I'll be live tweeting from the Undefeated Twitter account about that. But still working with them to create new shows and create new content. When I'm not playing softball, 100% want to be a TV host and give as much content and airtime to the amazing athletes and just their stories. I mean, athletes are always doing more than just playing the sport. And I think that people want to hear that side of them and those stories. So that's what I'm working to pull out.
Gotcha. And now, like during this pandemic, how have you been able to like stay in shape and work out?
Yeah, I mean, I work out a lot. I work out every single day, and I just create my own workouts. A lot of things are body weight. A lot of it's skill and agility. Even though if you don't have weights, there's still a lot of things that you can do to put your body through a lot of stress and challenge yourself to exhaustion, to where the point where you are building muscle. So, I mean, you may not bulk, but you can definitely lean and completely get extremely toned in this time. And on my Instagram page, I have a lot of videos that I'm posting on my workouts, whether it's core, legs, full body, or speed and agility. I'm kind of trying to show it all. So really being able to let you guys know that there's ways to work out even if you do not have a gym, and there's ways to continue to stay in shape and stay focused for a season once you do get to play again.
Yeah, for sure.
Someone asked, AJ and AJ who dope athletes we would love to hear stories from.
I think you froze again.
Good question. Someone asked why I ain't married yet. Because I got things to do, honey. I got things to do. I got goals to achieve. That's why I'm not married yet. But it's coming eventually. You feel me?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that because I don't know you like that, so I didn't want to.
Yeah, no, I mean.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. What are you looking forward to doing that you can't do right now since the virus?
I'm looking forward to traveling again. I'm looking forward to, before the virus, I had a lot of things set up. A show that I was creating. It was in the works. I had flights. I had my camera guy ready. We were about to go and make beautiful, beautiful content on these amazing women in sports. And, that all got shut down really fast. But it's okay. I'm looking forward to really being able to put a lot of my ideas and a lot of things that I'm working on in this time into action.
Who's some dream interviews you want to do?
I don't really have any dream interviews per se. I just have people that I really would love to hear their story and really would love to talk with more. And, a lot of that comes down to just a lot of women in sports, just because I don't feel like women in general get the attention or, the recognition that they deserve. So I would love to be able to be one of those people to continually bring those stories to light. But I do think there's just so many athletes that have more to them than just sport. And so for me, being a good journalist is finding out what those stories are. And so for me, it's just going down and having those conversations and really realizing how people can really come through adversity and be successful. So it's really anyone that wants to tell their story. I'm excited to have that conversation. And I just love hearing those situations where athletes have just overcome crazy circumstances and the moments where they've come through failure to success, have had all these people doubt them, have had to go through one hump over another and finally reach the top. I think that that's something that we can all really learn from. And Whether you feel like you're up there or not, there's always so much to learn. The best athletes are continuously learning. So as an athlete personally, I would love to do that. I just want to hear, I want to learn from these people. But also as, you know, a host and as a journalist, I want to be able to share those stories.
So there's nobody that you really want to interview?
I mean, everyone. I would love to talk to Serena Williams. It would be an amazing person to talk to. She's always someone that I've looked up to for a long time. But, you know, yeah, I think Serena Williams definitely would be probably my number
one. Mike Jordan asked, who's your favorite sports team and who's your favorite athlete?
I think my favorite sports team is the U.S. Women's National Soccer Team. They're my favorite, not just for the excellence they have on the field every single time they perform, but also what they stand for, and also the movement that they have been able to create for women in sports. They're definitely the pioneers when it comes to equal rights and equal pay. So they're definitely my favorite sports team. And then I would say outside of them, though, I also really I don't know. Yeah, really U.S. Women's National Team. And then I like, for his favorite athletes, I mean, Natasha Watley or Serena Williams are my favorite people of all time.
What about, like, growing up, was there any, like, softball players that you looked up to?
Yeah, Natasha Watley. That was my number one. Definitely was the person that made me feel like I could be as successful as possible. I mean, I think as a woman, representation is huge, but as a person who doesn't typically see someone that looks like them performing, I think that is also extremely important. And so she was that person that I identified with. And, you know, I think everything's different for kids, right? I find the number. This person has the same haircut as me, or this girl likes to wear her hair the same way I like to wear it. You know, for kids, what it is that resonates with them that makes these people their favorite players is not necessarily the way that they performed on the field, just what they see in themselves in that person. And Natasha Watley really was the person that gave me someone I saw myself in, that really allowed me to feel like I could be successful.
Gotcha. Were you on any of the, like, U.S. teams, or did you try out for the U.S. team?
No, I was not on any of the U.S. teams. It's very political, but it is what it is. A lot of people know. The girls that are on it are amazing, and they're going to be doing amazing things for our country. But no, I was not chosen to be one of those people, though.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah, I think they put back baseball and softball for 2020, but I think it's not going to be for 2024.
No, it's 2021 now. They just push it back a year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was saying, like, I think they brought it back, but now they're eliminating baseball and softball again in the Olympics.
Oh yeah,
like
2024 it won't be there again. Yeah, that's why this year, 2021 now is so important for baseball and softball, because I believe it'll probably be back in 2028 though, because the Olympics will be in Los Angeles, but it'll be in America. So I think it is in Los Angeles. So I think it will be back in 8 years, but you know, for a lot of people, they're out of their prime in that time. So 2021 or 2024 would be the time that they would compete, but still looking forward to 2028. I think it will be back by then.
Gotcha. Yeah. What about, how do you think you could help women's sports grow?
I think I could just continue to do what I'm doing, using my voice, using my platform, creating the content, really being that person that doesn't silence myself just because of the opinions of a few. I think people want to, at the end of the day, you know, a lot of the times people have a lot of things to say about women in sports, about how it's not as exciting, or it doesn't move as fast as male sports. And in my opinion, a lot of those people either have not watched the games that women play, or they're just ignorant. Because at the end of the day, you know, you may have a daughter one day, or you know someone that is a woman that plays women's sports, and those are people that you're going to want to advocate for. But in reality, the WNBA draft that just came out a couple weeks ago. So many people watched that. It was extremely exciting, extremely entertaining. U.S. Women's National Team, they are consistently great, consistently bringing a million views or tons of views. And then you have other sports. I mean, I think it's truly been shown that people always think the chicken and the egg, right? If you give them the attention first or wait till they've garnered this attention and then give them the media time. But I think softball can be a great case study where you see in college now it has continuously grown. It's watched all over the country, and year after year, the viewership has consistently exceeded the year's past viewership. And now it's on ESPN, not just the World Series, but leading up to the World Series, you have games every weekend of softball. And so, in my opinion, if you just give women the opportunity to showcase their skills, people will watch.
All right, so how do you feel about like higher up women like advocating for women's sports, but they're not investing in it?
I mean, I think you definitely need to practice what you preach, right? So if you're someone that wants to be a leader in this movement for women in sports, you definitely have to show that you are putting in that same effort. So, but I think that's with anything. I mean, if you are someone that talks about being a vegetarian, I would hope that you are one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that just goes to, if you're truly going to be someone that supports a cause or supports something going on, you should at least have a firm belief in what it is that you're talking about and doing what you can. Not everyone has the means to support, right? Not everyone has the means to shell out money or to do these different things, but you can talk, a tweet, you know, watching, being one of those viewers that are taking the viewership up and up. Like, those are things that you can do to support. Those are things you can do to put the sport on another level. So there's so many ways that you can complete. If you're advocating, there's ways that you can show that you really mean business.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it in the past where maybe they're talking about it, but then I see them investing in like men's sports. So then it's like, why aren't you investing in women's sports if you're talking about it?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, sports is a business. And so sometimes with just about any business, literally any business startup, right, you take a loss first before you actually make money. It's just the law of the land when you go into a business. And so at the end of the day, it just comes down to that person that truly believes in sports to realize that this is an investment. What they're putting in is investing in women's sports, and they're going to see it in the end. And, you know, you just have to, that's why talking is so important, why these women that are continuously doing all they can as athletes to show that they are worth it is important, because it's an investment. We're asking these people to invest in us. And so we want to give you a good reason to believe that it's a good investment.
What about, do any of I forgot who it was last year that was tweeting, like an MLB player, like he wanted to go to like one of the softball games, but I forgot who it was. Was there anybody that stands out to you that like supports women's softball from the MLB?
No, not from the MLB particularly. I mean, I don't remember that tweet. I don't know. I mean, I think that would be awesome to have more of that cross promotion with MLB and softball. I think that you see that a lot with the WNBA and the NBA. I think NBA players have had a great hand in helping the women in the WNBA get the exposure that they deserve. You have LeBron that tweeted the women all the time. Kobe Bryant did the same. Kobe Bryant used to tweet the World Series for softball. I mean, he was truly just an advocate for women in sports. And, you know, God bless their soul, him and Gigi, but, you know, he had a real purpose and was truly trying to help grow that space for women. And so I think that, you know, if it just takes a couple of people, like, it's not even the entire NBA that's doing it, it's just a few that have these high profiles that truly believe in what these women are doing, that will continuously help elevate. So but definitely that's a conversation to be had, and I hope in the future we do have more MLB players supporting softball.
Yeah, I forgot. I'm gonna find it later. I'll send it to you. I forgot who it was, but I remember it kind of picked up some traction. Mike Jordan said, "Did you ever have custom cleats before?"
Yeah, I did have custom cleats before. I mean, it wasn't that crazy. I just had some golds. I just love the color gold, so I just had gold on the bottom and gold trimming.
Oh, okay. Oh, he does like paintings on them.
Oh no, I've never had anything that cool.
Yeah. Does anyone do that? I don't know. And women's softball, I don't know. I've never seen it.
No, I mean, I haven't seen
Are you
maybe in
allowed to?
softball. So who is this? Mike Jordan. Mike
Yeah.
Jordan, hit me up. I'm right. I'm down to rock some of your styles for sure.
Is there any rules like that you can't do that, or you don't know?
No, there's no rules.
No rule. You guys can wear whatever.
Yeah.
What else? What about have you ever done anything? Actually, I forgot what I was going to say. You said, man, no rules.
Like, no rules. We can get crazy. We can get crazy with these designs. You feel me? I'm reading what Mike wrote.
Yeah, that would be dope. So what are some other things you like to do, like outside of like podcasting and softball?
I don't know. I am really into skincare. I'm really, really into taking care of my skin. Really into holistic wellness. So I'm very particular about what I put on my body as well as what I put in my body, just for one, longevity, right, as a human, but also for performance as an athlete. So that's kind of become a passion. I like really study it. Skincare, probably could have gone to school for all of that, but yeah, I'm really passionate about taking care of yourself, about your skin, and kind of deciding all that. My mom is a breast cancer survivor, and I also had surgery in my hip, and so those two things have definitely kept me motivated to make sure that I know what should be put, because it's not just what you put in your body that affects how you are. It's definitely what you put on your skin. So yeah, I think those are probably some really big passions of mine. I like to write, and I really like just like really motivational things. So I spend a lot of my time reading or watching motivational videos.
Are you reading anything right now?
I'm reading a book called Contagious.
Is that a movie too?
It's not. No, Contagion is what you're thinking of, but
Yeah.
it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with.
That's how I was like.
Yeah, no, it's a business book, so it's more along, or just like life, and so it's something that it talks about how things become contagious or how things become popular or viral, and it's not like a social media book. It's literally just in general, like why certain businesses are successful, why certain people want to watch or do certain things, why it is that this house would sell more than this house. So it just talks about why certain things people gravitate more to them than other things, and what it is that you can do to be that person. So it's a great book if you are looking to elevate your social platform, elevate or start a business and want to market it. It's definitely, like as I said, my undergrad degree is in sports business, sports marketing basically. So all that is really interesting to me.
Yeah. What about how do you pick like your walk-up songs?
It's just a mood. I think walk-up songs are definitely just how you're feeling that year. I think a lot of it goes off of what you experienced that year leading up to your picking. I mean, picking a walk-up song can take days. It can take weeks. It's definitely not an easy decision unless you've had one that you've been using over and over and over. But if you're picking a new walk-up song, it's definitely a process. For me, I like to pick something that just makes me feel swaggy. I know when I walk up to the plate, I just feel good. I know I look good and I feel confident. So that's what the vibe I like to go for.
Did you pick one out for this year yet?
Yeah, I actually picked out, if you watch the Michael Jordan documentary that's been playing, the first two ones, 1 and 2, the song called I Ain't No Joke, playing. That's going to be my walk-up song this year.
All right. Mike Jordan said, what's your favorite movie? What are you currently watching on Netflix?
I'm currently watching The Last Kingdom on Netflix. Me and my mom really like watching old stuff. So, like, anything that has to do, like, king, queens, and that kind of genre, me and my mom are really into it, like, where they talk super proper, that's the kind of stuff we watch on Netflix. So we're watching The Last Kingdom currently right now. What was the other question?
Favorite movie?
Movie. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm gonna throw out the one that's on my mind right now, and it's A Cinderella Story.
All right, that's a dope one.
Hilary Duff, that one. That's all I got in my head right now.
Yeah. What else do you like to do in your free time? I know I kind of asked you that before, but
Yeah, so I mean, same thing. In my free time, I just like to write. I like to create show concepts and really think about how I can position myself in a better space to create really cool shows, new things. Free time, I'm working softball, hitting, fielding, doing different things I can to keep my body prepared, and then just spending time with my family while I'm in Florida.
gotcha. Well, I think that's all the questions I have. Do you have any questions for me?
I don't. Thank you, though. Thanks for having me on.
I appreciate it.
All right. Bye, guys. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one.